We're currently going through what's being called a male loneliness epidemic. Now, what does that mean? That means that a large amount of men around the nation are feeling incredibly lonely. More lonely than they were 2 decades, 3 decades ago. And there's a reason for this. It's because men are no longer focusing on their goals. We're being pushed into a toxic society where small, flashy things like wealth, nice car, or, a girlfriend like that's supposed to make you happy. When in reality, it's far from that. That's not what brings you happiness or takes you away from loneliness. So, beginning of this year, I was a part of this group. I was feeling incredibly lonely. But I can say now, end of 2024, I've completely changed. And I want to share my journey of how I got from incredibly lonely to feeling more confident than I've ever felt in my whole life, how I got here, and how you can get here as well. Because let me tell you, I'm not special. There's nothing special about me. I'm just someone who didn't quit. I'm someone who tried. And that doesn't make me special. That just means that I'm someone who can tell you how you can get here as well. So let me start off, right? Beginning of this year, I was incredibly lonely. And I just got out of a relationship, and I just felt like I needed to fill that hole inside myself as quickly as possible. So I was going to clubs every night. I was hanging out with a bunch of people, different people every single night. I was smoking every night, drinking. I was just doing a lot of stuff that just didn't bring me any happiness. Maybe in the short term, it made me feel like excited for a very small amount of time. But afterwards, I always regretted it. And you know what happened afterwards? My loneliness only grew. I felt worse and worse and worse until I just couldn't tolerate being by myself. So the way I got out of that is I had to embrace the loneliness. And this is something that's going to be rough for some of you guys to hear. A lot of people that hear embrace the loneliness, what does that mean? Just be alone all the time? Do I have to force myself to be lonely? Well, yes. I'm going to tell you straight up. There's no way of sugarcoating it. You need to be alone. You need to be alone by yourself. Physically and mentally, you need to be by yourself. And you can't just be by yourself. You need to be by yourself and focusing on something extremely important to you. So the main way I got out of my loneliness and I became who I am today, feeling confident and feeling fine with myself no matter where I am and where I go, whether I have a bunch of people around me or no one around me, or whether I'm in a relationship or not, I feel happy and I feel confident. And the way I got here is I stopped focusing on everything that wasn't directly tied to my biggest goals in life. And when I say biggest goals, I don't mean like focusing on getting a nice car or getting a girlfriend or even getting more friends. Those shouldn't be your goals. I'm talking about the selfish goals, the goals that are only for yourself. I'm talking about the goals that benefit only you. You need to focus on the goals that benefit no one but you. You need to be selfish. You need to think to yourself, what is my biggest ambition? What are my biggest goals? How do I achieve these goals? Once you start putting your whole fixation on life, on achieving those specific goals, you will naturally stop feeling lonely. Loneliness isn't something a pill or some materialistic thing can ever fix, or even a relationship. Loneliness is something that's extremely deeply personal inside your being. It's something that's deep within you, and in order to get rid of it, you have to go the really slow and often difficult route. But it is the only way to cure your loneliness. I'm telling you this because I think that every man has the potential to cure their loneliness and become who they want to become. Everything in life is difficult. Every single thing in life is hard. Everything has its challenges. This one will be very difficult. This journey of curing your loneliness It'll be difficult, but it'll be well worth it, because at the end, you're going to become someone that you never thought you could become. So let me get a little bit more into detail, right? So midway through the year, I started realizing that I wasn't presenting myself as who I am in the inside. I wasn't focusing on my goals. I wasn't worried about my ambitions. I wasn't taking the gym seriously or taking any of my aspirations seriously. And you know what? It was depressing. I realized, without your goals and ambitions, you're nobody. One of the main things that make you different from everyone else is who you want to be. Not who you currently are, but who you want to be. And the thing that makes people who are sad, depressed, lonely, different from people who are happy, confident, and striving for a better future, what makes the difference between those two people is one of them has given up on their goals and the other are chasing it with everything they got. Now, I know it sounds like, oh, cliche advice, chase your goals, blah, blah, blah. I know that. But the reality is you need to hear it in the most cliche, cheesy form, because it's the truth. It's the truth. Everybody says that because it's the truth. And I'm here to tell you it's not bullshit. I'm proof that it's not bullshit. I've changed so much this year because I changed my focus in life from curing my loneliness to achieving my goals. That's how I became who I am. And I'll be honest with you, I love who I am today. I do. I feel confident. I feel good about myself. I no longer feel insecure. And most important thing is I'm not scared to do things anymore. I'm not scared to start a project, to chase my goals. I'm not scared of failure. That's the biggest thing. I'm not scared of failure. I still fail. I fail a lot at a lot of different things. But guess what? I also succeed at a lot of different things. And I'm able to succeed because I don't have the fear of failure. And I don't have the fear of failure because I'm not terrified of being lonely, and I'm not terrified of chasing my goals. So there's one big takeaway I would take from this video is you need to embrace being alone. You can't look for a cure. Delete the dating apps, delete whatever other shit you got going on. Focus on being alone. Be stoic. Be by yourself. Focus on yourself. Focus only on you. You're the main character of your story. There's no reason why you should be worrying about other people. Don't worry about anyone else. It doesn't matter what anyone else is thinking at all. It doesn't matter what other people are thinking or what they're doing. It doesn't matter how people view you. Just focus on you and you alone. And success will follow. I promise you. It will. Because when you focus on yourself, you increase your chances of achieving your goal almost infinitely. When you focus on just yourself and your life, when you stop worrying about everything else but your direct goal, your number one thing that you want to achieve, you will succeed. I'm offering this advice because I feel like every man out there has the ability to beat their loneliness and beat the loneliness epidemic. You can do this. And I'll keep providing advice and tips. I'll keep posting videos about everything I learned and everything I already know. And if you find that helpful, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe, and I'll make sure to keep posting and provide you as much information as possible.